Hey guys, Chad Fox. Hey, have you ever wondered if an exhaust system will actually improve fuel mileage? Stay around and I'll have you an answer here in a little bit. Hey guys, have you ever wondered if an exhaust system will improve the fuel mileage on your truck? We're going to find out here real quick. I've got a 2014 F-150 here with a twin turbo EcoBoost. We're going to do an exhaust system on it. We're going to do some baseline here. I'm going to show you what I'm getting currently now. I'm going to reset the trips for both the short term and the trip for the tripometer. And we're going to drive this thing for whatever many miles it is round trip. We're going to do this two times, and then we're going to see if there's differences between the fuel. Common between the two, same amount of fuel. I'm not going to fill up in between. I figure that's kind of just a waste of time, and obviously time is precious, and you guys don't want to be bored with me filling this thing up at the gas station. So let's see what I can find out here, and let's see what this thing will do. We're going from a stock OEM exhaust system to an MSBR 4-inch catback exhaust. So they claim 10 to 15 horsepower additional and increased fuel mileage. So we're going to find out on both. So stay tuned and we'll find out the answer. Thanks. Okay, so before we get started here, this is current. It's showing 11.5 miles a gallon. And you can see the mileage here is 138,850 miles. So this is nowhere near a new motor. So we're just going to see how it is. I mean, there's no check engine lights on. This thing's had a fresh tune-up, fuel filter. It's been decarboned about 5,000 miles ago. And the last 2 fuel tanks I've run injector cleaner through just to make sure everything is clean and efficient. Currently sitting at 3/4 of a tank. And so let me go ahead and reset this while I'm here. So it's 0. I'm going to do this between each time so you can kind of see where I started with. Okay, I went 14.5 miles since I reset the trip, and looks like it's averaged 11.5 miles a gallon. Let's keep in mind this is all city driving, and stop and go and hills. So your vehicle's going to do better than that. Plus, I've got like a 250 or 300 pound decked drawer system in the back of the truck. So again, you can see the mileage here to start. We're going to go for a quick road trip here real quick. We're going to reset this to 0, and then we're going to see what this thing does, and I'll record it here when I get back, and we'll change out the exhaust and we'll do it again. Also, I'm using the cruise control as much as I possibly can to maintain steady speed. So I'm not speeding up and slowing down and just manipulating the fuel mileage out of the way. So this is as consistent, as easy as I can drive the truck. Okay guys, we're here back shop. You can see the current mileage is 138,868. We went 18.2 miles, and for whatever reason it's trying not to focus, but it's 13 miles a gallon average. It was like 13.2 when I pulled it in. And it shows we burnt 1.3 gallons. And so let's verify that with the here. And sure enough, almost same thing. So that's what we started with here, guys. So we're going to reset all this and do this again after I get the exhaust on. So let's change out the exhaust and see what we can pick up. All right, guys, you can see, the back of the truck is empty here other than my deck system. I think this is like 250 pounds that I added to the back of the truck plus the fiberglass camper shell. And there's almost nothing in these drawers, just basics I normally keep in here. So a couple straps, tarps, and then a few little straps here. So just so you can see how much weight that I'm carrying around. So I'm not carrying a whole lot at all. So let's get onto here and we'll get this thing changed out. All right, guys, this is the factory exhaust up under here. As you can see, it's all original. We're talking about back pressure and stuff earlier. There's weep holes in these exhausts, and you can feel the back pressure here just from idling. As this thing really starts turning RPMs and you start loading this thing up, it really, here, let me show you the paper test. See that? See that's flat? That's on the back side of the resonator. This is the front. That right there is just exhaust coming out of that little bitty weep hole that you see right there. You can really see how much it's doing. So that just shows you how much back pressure this exhaust really has. So from here, I'm going to lower this thing down. We're going to go change this thing out, and then we're going to put this monster 4-inch exhaust there. All right, guys, we got the exhaust on and pressure tested it, so there's no leaks. It went actually really easy. This is one of the easier catback systems I've put on. If you go by the instructions, it says if you have an extended cab 6.5 foot bed, it says to cut the intermediate pipe to 15 inches. On this particular truck, that's not the case. I had to cut mine to 14 inches, but that's neither here nor there. I just wanted a little bit more clearance at the spare tire, so I shortened it up a little bit to give myself room there. So I'm going to show you what it looks like, and it went pretty good. So, all right, guys, as you can see here, we got the old exhaust system on the ground here. Take these 2 bolts here out. Take your pry bar here, pry forward. That'll bring this around to that front hanger, and then all the other hangers push straight back, and then it falls down. Very, very, very easy to remove. I left this in one piece. I didn't cut it up because if I don't like this thing, I'm very good possibility I'm going to replace it or put the stock back on or something. But so far, it's not hateful. I'm not hating it. So it doesn't sound like a ricer that I could tell, but this is it. New flange and bolts here. Comes back. This is the intermediate pipe that you're going to have to cut, or the extension pipe as they call it. They said it needed to be 15 inches, and when I measured this, it was off. And when I test fit everything up, 15 inches would have put my gap here at the spare tire almost nicks. So I cut an extra inch to give myself some room here so it didn't rattle. But everything's clean. I mean, the hangers went in well. It's actually a well-designed system, very easy. This hanger here, I did have to bend a little bit to get in. This is welded directly to the tailpipe. So I did have to open this up a little bit to get this in this hanger. So that's really the only thing I had to modify other than cut the tube. And you come around here, and this is what it looks like. I've got about 6 inches here behind the tire. And it definitely looks like a diesel exhaust. So this is it on the truck. All right, guys. And we're about 2 hours later. After it took about maybe a little over 2 hours, put that exhaust on. Man, I'm fortunate enough to have a lift to work off of, but this is definitely something you can do in your garage or in your driveway, no problem. It took me about 2 hours, but that's by myself. So we're going to reset the trip here, and then we're going to see what kind of fuel mileage I get. All right, guys, as you can see, it's with idle time and warm up and what I run it in the shop, the pressure test exhaust, it dropped down some, but the mileage really hasn't moved since we left or since we got back. So 18.2 miles, 12 miles a gallon. So we're going to reset this, and we're going to come back here and reset the main too. We're going to make the exact same trip here, guys, and then we're going to see how it does. But there is one difference on this test. I do have my lovely co-pilot here that's going to help me with video, so we'll see how it does. All right, guys, just got back. As you can see, 14.3 miles a gallon. We went 18.1 miles, and our ending miles is 138,886.9. So we've definitely picked up we picked up for sure 1.3 miles a gallon, and it's probably closer to 1.5, but that is what it is. That's real world numbers. And I'm not sure why the check engine light come on, but hey guys, we just got back. Just showed you the mileage here. Picked up 1.3 miles a gallon, definite. I think it's more like a mile and a half, especially considering I've got my co-pilot here with me tonight. So it does change it's not apples to apples completely, but it's close enough. So even with her being with me, we still picked up 1.3, 1.4 miles a gallon. So, and on the interstate, as we drive this thing, I'm probably going to be back up to 17 miles a gallon again. So I pretty much picked up about what I lost with the oversized tires. So I'm running the Cooper ATR3s, whatever this. It's all-terrain 3 version of the Coopers. So, I mean, I lost about a solid 2.5 to 3 miles a gallon. So I figure I picked up at least 2 of that back. So that's a win in my book. Would I have spent this much money if for retail full price? No, it's not worth the money. But since I got this on sale from Black Friday sale, it was almost $80 off. I think it's $87 off. So I dropped it down to just over $400, and I needed to get the exhaust done anyways because as much as I pull this truck, it really need to keep the EGTs as low as I can, just like on a diesel truck. So I mean, it definitely helps the performance. It definitely helps the fuel mileage. Is it $500 and some odd dollars improvement? ROI would take a long time to pay for itself, only picking up a mile and a half per gallon. So if you want to run the numbers, you can run the numbers, but to get a return on investment on this, it's going to take a while. So am I happy with it? Yeah, I think I'm happy with it so far. It's got a little bit of a drone, mid RPMs, about 3/4 of the throttle, but it's something I can live with. I mean, idle, it's pretty quiet in here. I don't have the radio on, so I don't know if any of this noise is picked up through the microphone. As I'm accelerating, it does get a little bit louder, but what do you expect? You're putting a 4-inch exhaust on a truck, so it's definitely going to get louder. So that's kind of inevitable. But at least it doesn't have a drone. It ain't got that roar as you're going down the interstate, because that just drives me nuts. But guys, take this for what you will. You've heard it before. You've heard it after. You've seen what the fuel mileage is before. Now you've seen what the fuel mileage is after. You can make a choice if you want to do this to your truck or not. But for a truck with 138,000 miles on it and picking up 100 mile and a half the gallon, it's not bad. So I'll get my money's worth out of this truck because I'm not planning on ever getting rid of it. So I'm going to run this thing as long as I can. So this truck is almost 100% rust free, and I own a rust prevention business. So this truck will last me for a long time. God forbid I don't get in a wreck. So, well, guys, have a good evening. If you have any questions, let me know, and we will see you on the road. Happy wrenching.